Knob.
Hey guys, Rich from Rich Big Gaming. Quinn's a knob. He's just put me off. Absolute knobhead. Joined by Quinn. Quinn.
Hello.
It is me. How you doing, mate? All right?
Yeah, good. I've got McFlurry. I'm very good.
What I'm going to love is everybody watching this is going to be like, it's fucking Saturday tomorrow. It's not, motherfuckers. It's Thursday today. So yeah, we're doing this a day early. I'd rather do it a day early than not do it, I think, is how we've done it in the past, but I think it is better doing it a day early. I think it's easier to do it a day early, Quinn, when we have other things to talk about.
Oh, who'd have thought? When we have a talk show based on news for a game, it's one, easier to do it when there's news for the game, and two, easier to do it a day before because there's motivation to do it because there's news for a game.
This is true. This is true. So I hope everyone's well. Yeah, the reason I am not around tomorrow, guys, is I'm going to be over in Manchester. I'm going to be over at Element Games. We did a draft last night. If anyone hasn't done a draft before, we once did one live. But and actually, Quinn, I'm going to say, whilst playing the games is fun, the actual fun part of a draft is the draft itself, right? Daz, who's on the chat, joined us for the last one. Quinn, obviously, you were there. We had a few others on as well. I think we're probably due another one actually on the channel.
I mean, like we tend to do them between TTS seasons.
Yeah, so maybe we do. You know. Maybe we will do another draft. Maybe that's what one of the weekly Patreon, monthly Patreons will be a draft. Quinn, that could be quite fun. So, guys, we've got some news to talk about. We obviously, last time we were talking about how we were right about Supergiant and Black Swan. Obviously, I mean, I think there was less contention, Quinn, around who the man holding the sword like this was. Like somebody put like, is that Odin? And I was like, no.
I think they were talking about the statue to the side, surely.
Oh, is that what they were talking about?
Because it's holding a spear. I mean, it's a rather feminine figure, but, you know, maybe.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
I saw someone, like, saying that Scourge might have been... Was it Vason? Like a dude who has an axe that cuts portals? Something like that.
Oh, I don't know. All I know is it is 100%. I mean, we can just look at the picture here.
Yeah, we can.
100% Scourge. And it's really weird. And maybe this is because MCU Scourge just looks so much like comic book, Carl Urban looks like comic book Scourge. So it looks like they've taken Scourge straight out of the MCU, but obviously Heimdall, there's one major difference in the fact that he's a white dude as opposed to Idris Elba, or Idris Elba even.
Idris Elba? Oh yeah, he's my favourite actor.
Idris Elba. But...
He's the guy who plays Knuckles in Sonic,
Knuckles in Sonic, yes. Fuck off. But, I mean, I'll be painting mine up as Idris Elba. I don't know about anybody else. Because for me, 100%. He is the... For me, he is just Heimdall. Like, he's so good. But we got first images. I'm going to start with Heimdall, Quinn. And
okay,
Heimdall...
So we're going to save the really disappointed paint scheme for second. Cool. Yeah, got
it. First of all, I'm going to say I like both. Both sculpts are really good. That's the first thing. Heimdall, the paint job on him is absolutely amazing.
I really like the Bifrost.
So good. The Bifrost, and obviously it's reminiscent of like what we had with the ancient one, wasn't it? With like the bit around there. It looks really, really good. But, and I get this is what Scourge looks like in the comics.
I don't fucking care if that's what Scourge looks like in the comics. He looks shit.
But
look, that's not what Scourge looks like in Earth's Mightiest Heroes, which is the closest thing I've got to the comics. And also has a great theme song, but he doesn't fucking look like that.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? But I mean, the nice thing is, guys,
it's really not hard, Rich. Look at it.
We can paint them. And I will say, it is whilst I do not like the colour scheme, the paint job, as always, is really good. I just don't want him looking like He looks like he's turned up to the Xavier Institute and gone, I can be an X-Man too, look at my uniform.
I've got a glowing axe on my chest. Ooh.
Yeah. But the nice thing is that you're going to be able to get, paint them however you want. But I don't think I've ever been tempted, Quinn. And it depends on the character, right? Because these two characters may be shit, right? We don't know what they're going to be at the moment. I think the rumours are obviously Heimdall, leader, 4 threat, Scourge, 2 or 3 threat-ish, maybe. We're not quite sure. But they could be rubbish characters. If...
go watch it again. I've watched Earth's Mightiest Heroes. I know Scourge don't look like that. He's wearing green.
No, but as in his actual character in the game as well. If it's really good, I will be buying that 3D print of him with his 2 M16s.
Yeah. Call them by their names, please.
Pardon? Or Des and Troy. Des and Troy.
Yeah. And Troy.
Let's just have a quick look. Mitch says, no, Scourge looks just like the comics. No, I get it, mate. Such hype for Asgard extras. Absolutely, Thomas. Then Mitch says, so funny for me, having read Thor in Marvel for 40 years and hearing that Idris Elba, get his name right.
Idris Elba, yeah.
Is the prototype for Heimdall. I can see why he was a great Heimdall. He was, mate. He was absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. 40 years ago, they didn't have... they definitely didn't have a black Asgardian, I don't think.
He's not wearing green Earth's Mightiest Heroes. He's wearing red.
Well, there we go.
Oh, actually, no, the axe is red. He's wearing black. There we go.
Afternoon, Glenn. If I could bring up picks now, sigh. Well, I'll maybe try and look for some picks for you.
I've literally just brought up picks.
But yeah, I think overall having more for Asgard is good. End of, right? Let's just hope that they're good characters. Let's have a quick look at what we get in their boxes, because we like to play this game, Quinn, don't we? So pretty standard price there. 1 Heimdall will Scourge. So we get no tokens at all, apparently.
Is that true, or are they just not listing them?
Well, I mean, they say 2 bases, but we know we're going to get 38, don't we? So, but the 2 cards are Meet My Executioner. I mean, that is Scourge's card, right?
I mean, both of these cards are Scourge cards.
And then weapons of Midgard. So
also can be read as Des and Troy.
Des and Troy. Yeah, I mean they did actually tell us on the stream, didn't they? That I'm sure they told us that his M16s may be in card form. Like I'm pretty sure. So I think we can imagine like an illicit tech-esque. It may be slightly different, but it's going to be something like that. That's a card that gives him access
Maybe
to...
it's like a 5 dice rapid fire for 1 attack. That'd be
really nice. And then, oh my God, he changed his shirt. Who did? Quinn?
Oh, we're talking about Earth's Mightiest Hero Scourge.
Oh,
he's wearing
right,
black
okay.
shirt. I mean, also, the axe is a very dark red, not bright pink, which definitely helps the look.
Glenn says, so no Heimdall tactics? I don't think so, mate, no. I don't think we're getting any Heimdall-specific tactics cards.
Which just means that, all of his teleportation's on his card, right?
Yeah. We could read this, but there's very, very little point. I wonder what threats these guys are. I think either 4-3 or 4-2, Mitch. But
I go for 4-2.
And actually, to your point there, Mitch, all Asgardians needs a +1 threat bump. Grumble, Thor should be a 6. I think there is an argument to say why Scourge won't be a 2 is because he's an Asgardian, which means he'll have the Asgardian trait.
We kind of went over this last week.
We did, yeah.
With my thoughts that he's probably an assassin type like Nebula, meaning he can't interact.
Yeah, which is how you reduce the cost. Mitch is going to paint it bright red just for you, Quinn. So
as long as it's not fluorescent pink, I don't mind.
Guys, I want to have a quick chat as well. Then, obviously, we had the card packs get released last week, and we spoke through them.
Get shown.
Shown, sorry. And we spoke through them, and we spoke about our disappointment in them, as well as many, many other people about them. So we're not going to go over that again. But we had something completely new dropped on us yesterday or the day before that I was not expecting. And this is our first ever affiliation pack. So CP159, okay? That is 80 something jump. So there's some stuff in the middle of this. But Black Order affiliation pack, what is it? Well, basically, rather than going out and spending $45 on Ebony Maw and Black Dwarf and then $30, $40 on Corvus Glaive and Proxima Midnight, you get all 4 of these characters in the same pack. And absolutely everything that you would get in those, plus some extra things as well. Why are these out? Why are these out? Why are these a good things? And why have I seen some people grumbling about them? So first of all, why are they out? Well, as characters get older and as the game gets bigger and bigger, as a business, you have to then make aspects of the game more accessible. And they're doing that via things like the card packs, whether we agree or not that they're the right cards that should be in there or whatever else, right? But things like the card packs. And obviously the characters were the next big one. I worked it out, Quinn, the other week. If I was to start playing MCP today and I bought everything that had been released.
Don't say the number.
It's up to like $3,000 now. $3,500. And that's a big number, right? So I think what they're doing here is really, really good. I see these, Quinn, as I've got my little Targaryen. You can probably see it here, right? My Targaryen.
I can't, but other people can. Yes.
Box. There we go. I'll just do it so Quinn can see it as well. There you go.
Oh, there we go. Thank you, friend.
So, Song of Ice and Fire, right? Targaryen starter set. So, and I see that's what this is, right? It is a starter set. You're still going to have to buy the core box, right? It's just going to be the way that it is. But it's a way of them being able to make them more affordable later on down the line. This is pack 159. And there's going to be more of them. There's going to be a Wakanda set, right? There's going to be... Maybe Avengers is one that they don't do, but, I think we're going to see more and more of these.
I have a different theory as to why this has been made.
Go ahead.
There are like 50,000 units of Ebony Maw and Black Dwarf that are just sitting in a warehouse because they haven't sold.
I mean, you're such a pessimist. Such a pessimist. Makes 3-box challenges much easier. Still have to buy Thanos. Well, we'll come on to that. Need to sell more and dwarf somehow. I was shocked Thanos wasn't instead of Proxima and Corvus. So yeah, we'll address that and go into why it is. And then Cody says, "Oh snap! Just finished buying everything over the course of 3 months. I didn't need to hear that number, Rich." Cody, that's only based on buying at the MSRP, right? So that's fine. We don't buy at MSRP. Quinn, I want to go through this content. So, well, actually, first of all, the price. Let's talk about the price. $59.99 is
Isn't
very,
that like the price
good.
of the Maw and Dwarf box?
I'll pull it up here. Whilst we're... Oh, no, I can't put that there. Give me a second. That covers Quinn's face. Whilst we're talking, I will put it up there.
I'm not sure that's the worst thing that could happen.
To be fair, it's not, no. But yeah, $59.99, and look at what we get in there. So we get obviously Black Dwarf. We get all of the characters that are shown in the box. 4 bases. We know that it's not going to be 4 bases. It'll be 30,000. 7 Team Tactics cards, 4 Infinity Gems, and an affiliation card, which is very interesting that they've decided to put that in there as well, I thought. Price-wise, Quinn, $39.95 for Corvus and Proxima, $49.95. So what's that? A saving of $30 basically for the 2 boxes, which is very, very good value. But I want to have a look, Quinn, at these cards that are in the sets. So obviously Black Order. Execute, Blood to Spare, Price of Failure, Shush, Mothership, and Mark for Death. All the tactics cards that were in the previous boxes. But we also get a card called First of the Black Order. I think we are in agreement, Quinn, here, that this is going to be the new leader for the Black Order.
We assumed this when we saw the contents of Black Swan and Supergiant, right?
Because that's the other packs it in.
Which is a very important thing to mention because it means that card is not exclusive to this pack, therefore you don't have to rebuy models you already bought.
Yeah, which is nice, which is really, really nice. So again, I think good job on that front. But it also means, Quinn, that at least one of the characters in this pack and at least one of the characters in the Supergiant Black Swan pack are going to be able to use this card. Now, we had a quick conversation, didn't we, off air, about how we don't think this is just going to be attach this card to Proxima Midnight or Black Dwarf and they can become leaders.
Oh, yeah, Black Dwarf, the character so good that he didn't even get his own villain encounter in Marvel Champions.
So my predictions, Quinn, and I think we were on the same lines here, is Ebony Maw, first and foremost, seems like the viable option. I also think Black Swan as well from the other pack over Supergiant. And then we both sort of agreed on Corvus as well, didn't we, in terms of who else we thought could be a leader.
I mean, there is potential that it is just Corvus, considering the fact that he, I believe, is the only person in the comics to be referred to as the first of the Black Order. Or he might refer to himself as that at some point.
Yeah. I think it has to be Supergiant or Black Swan. Because that card comes in their box. Well, then... Yeah, because if not, you'd have to buy this box, which would duplicate your Corvus Glare. I think it's going to be multiple. You wouldn't have to
buy this box, because you could already own them from when they came out.
No, if the only leader that could use First of the Black Order was Corvus, you would have to buy the Supergiant box or this box to get the card.
Oh, right, yeah.
To get the card, which I don't think they're going to do. So I think it's going to be at least 2, maybe 3 characters who can use it. But guys, I think this is, and then just to clarify as well, just to run through, they also then come with the space, time, mind, and reality, which are the 4 gems that Ebony Maw and Corvus can use between them, which is, guys, I think it's a good thing. I don't know. Let's have a look through chat and see what chat is saying. Mitch, I was shocked Thanos wasn't in this instead of Proxima and Corvus. Sorry, Michael said that, sorry. I think they want to keep those Ultimate Encounter characters separate and put them in there. They can charge a premium for that.
There's an aspect of Thanos technically not being a member of the Black Order, rather the person they work for.
Yeah, I agree. So I don't think it makes sense. And what's Thanos, like $65 or something? I get he's expensive, but you get a lot more with him as well. Just seems weird.
You get a little throne that you'll definitely use. I'm
using it. I'm building a little Thanos throne room in my board. Just seems weird to have no affiliation with no leaders in it. Well, I think we've just addressed that one, Michael. I think there's going to be affiliation packs. Yes, my bank account is cheering. Cost break is nice. Yeah, I think, Mitch, what it's going to do is give people options. I think what we're not going to see is 4 characters announced at Ministravaganza, and you can either buy them separately or you can buy them as an affiliation pack. I think they're going to be for older characters. So I think that's going to be how it is. Agreed, Cody. When I think of how much I've already... okay, so there we go. That's fine. Bargains. I want more affiliation packs. I think someone in the planning room misheard this. I was... Excellent, Mitch. But it seems like... it's generally a good thing. I think everyone seems to be in agreement that they like these. What do we think, Quinn? Contenders for other packs? What do we think could be?
I mean, like you said, Wakanda, I think, is definitely one. Just a quick thing with regard to it being older characters as well. This is also kind of a way of reducing the number of SKUs that MCP potentially takes up for distributors and retailers. Because instead of it being 2 boxes, it's 1 box, right? Which means that if they're phasing out selling the individual boxes to make these like the main thing after a certain period of time, it feels like a reasonable thing to do. It would make sense. Um, potentially we see like an Avengers one down the line, but it's like Sam and War Machine plus like Vision and Winter Soldier or something, right?
I like that, or even Luke and Iron Fist, something like something along those lines. Yeah, I do like it, and I think look, as I said, I don't think this is not going to be a way of getting new characters cheaper. They wouldn't do that. Why on earth would you? From a business standpoint, it makes no sense. But if you want to hold on, or if you're new to the game and you've been considering going back and buying other things, I think it's a really good way of doing it. I agree, Michael. Thor, Valk, Loki, and Hela, I think would make a perfect pack for these as well. You've got 4 Inhumans, right? That would make a lot of sense as well.
There are 5 Inhumans, actually.
No, but there were 4 Inhuman characters released as the thing. But yeah, I think we could see them a lot more. Let's have a quick look through. Somebody had asked a question: would you like to see most affiliations have a tactics card to make anyone a leader? No. And I'm going to expand on that. No, Michael, I don't want to see most affiliations have most things that are the same, because then there's nothing unique about them, right? Yes, the wording and things will be different in the playstyle, but I like the fact that we have some affiliations where they are big and sprawling, and then other ones where there's 3 or 4 characters. Some affiliations have only ever had 1 leader. They should only ever have 1 leader. So I think, yeah, I'm happy to see them have a mix and match of both. What it does
do. I do think like we're not gonna see. This isn't gonna be the last time we see this sort of thing, right?
No, not at all.
I think the one that I have in mind is specifically the champions, right? Who I believe like their classic leader is kind of Ms. Marvel, or like yeah. So like potentially there's a card that comes out with some champions characters that then enables you to make one of them or Ms. Marvel leader of the champions, that sort of thing, and like Pet Avengers, Lockjaw being your leader.
Yeah.
Right? Just
exactly
being a way to include older characters that were released earlier in newer affiliations in the capacity that they probably should be based off of like the comic lore.
And that's the thing, is that right? They couldn't have released Lockjaw, what was it, a year and a half ago, with a pet offender's leadership and with nothing else in it. I also think my prediction is either next week or the week after we will see the Asgard pack, or maybe at Ministravaganza. And why? We'll look at the comic. Release new Black Order characters. Release the pack that goes along with them. Oh, sorry, announce is the word, sorry. Yeah. Announce new Asgardian characters. Announce the new character pack that comes along with them. And that, from a business standpoint, makes perfect sense.
Does that mean that we're going to get announced new Defenders pack? Strange and Wong plus someone else.
Well, I mean, probably, yeah.
I would really like that. I really need something.
I really do think. I think Defenders could be up there, and I would probably say that you'd get Wong and Strange, Luke Cage, Iron Fist would be the 4 that I would bundle in.
I do wonder whether the Cage and Iron Fist release is a little bit too soon.
Maybe, but I'm trying to think.
But also, it's kind of difficult to find 2 other Defenders that are in a box together.
That was my point, is that where else do you get them from? But yeah, that's what I get. That's the feeling that I get, is that that's what they will do. And whilst, and I'm going to play a bit of a Debbie Downer here, and whilst I am really, really excited for that.
Oh, shut up, Debbie.
I know, right? Whilst it's really, really cool, okay, I don't want half of the mini extravaganza be bundled boxes of characters and cards that I already own. Right?
Would you rather it be an announcement of an errata and then spend the next 5 months with everyone constantly speculating what's going to happen every day?
It's a fair point. But so let's have a quick look. Do we think Asgard will get a combo box? Absolutely. Just said it. The leadership bumps the minimum threat a bit. So if you can remove it and make it fluid, you can have the option to field that character cheaper without the leadership 2 or more powerful, possibly. I agree, Mitch. I also think it's what's the word? A character benefits from a leadership whether they carry the cost or not, right?
Yeah.
Corvus in Black Order benefits from the leadership of Thanos, even though Corvus doesn't carry the costs. But yeah, I think Strange, Wong, Hulk, and Ghost Rider, perfect pack, says the Swedish troll. I think it might be a little bit more than the $59.95. Debbie Mid Gaming, yeah. So that's my only concern.
Is that your sister's gaming channel?
Yeah, maybe. I just want to see lots of new things. But I think, again, guys, I bring it back around to the fucking shenanigans that you see pulled at or with other gaming companies.
What, a codex every 3 months that you have to buy?
You know what? I think AMG, whether we love or hate the characters they release or anything like that, I think they've done a really, really good job, which will be, which I think it just shows again by them doing this sort of thing as well. Venom, Carnage, and Spider-Man. Ooh, interesting. Web Warriors is another one. I'm trying to think of another 2-pack Web Warriors though.
I mean, Web Warriors is Miles, Gwen, ASM, Cat, right?
Oh, of course, yeah. There we go. But yeah, so I think, look, guys, it's a really good way. I know one of the big points of contention for a lot of people that seems to have come to the forefront are crisis cards. This pack obviously doesn't include any crisis cards. The original didn't either. I don't think either of the originals did, Quinn.
No, they didn't, because the Black Order Crisis comes with Thanos, as you'd expect.
So maybe it would have been nice, I'm just saying, maybe it would have been nice to throw in the Black Order Crisis, because most affiliations have, whether you play that crisis with that affiliation, and the usual answer is normally you don't, right? Because they're designed to be centered around certain packs and things, but through, you just end up not playing them.
Does that actually hold true?
Well, so you look at Asgard have obviously got Fear Grips.
Yeah, Asgard like playing Fear Grips.
Mystic Wakandan Herb for Wakanda.
Oh, right. In my head, do you know what I thought the Wakanda Crisis was?
Go on.
I thought it was Gamma.
No.
Immediately my brain just went, oh, Wakanda Crisis, Gamma, yes. No, okay. Ignore me.
No, but then obviously Black Order have got their pulse. So maybe the one thing they could have done extra with these packs is thrown in that, that sort of affiliated crisis card, right?
I mean, so, yeah, but also, I think the question then would be how, what the logistical aspects are of taking all of, the cards and tokens out of the Thanos boxes, or, having a separate set of, sounds like a lot of effort they don't want to go to.
I do get it. I absolutely get it.
I don't want to go to that effort, and I don't work for AMG, so I can't imagine they want to.
Got an FLGS that had their Legion stock undercut by AMG with the most recent bundle. Let's talk about that, Michael, because
technically that's Asmodee UK, not AMG.
It is Asmodee UK. Let's have a conversation about this, because it is worthwhile mentioning. Obviously, here in the UK, we had a May the 4th bundle where I think you paid £100, let's say, and you got a core box or a starter box with a couple of expansions, and then a leader or an agent or whatever it is called. But it was like a couple of £100 worth of stuff.
I think
for
you got
£100.
it was an operative and then like a commander.
Yeah, it was basically enough, wasn't it, to make a 800, 1200 point army, right? A very, very good offer. But Michael, as you very rightly pointed out, there were what you then found is that you had local gaming stores who had bought stock and had stock in stock at a higher rate than what they could buy these bundles for. Now, my view on this is, I've actually worked in a multi-tier distribution environment for 15, 20 years. Very, very different industry, but the principles remain the same. They just messed up the way they bundled them. What they should have done is sold them as a single bundle and then allow the gaming stores to use their existing stock for them. Now, if they were clever, that's what the gaming stores would have done. They'd have wrote off their stock, got rid of them, and then brought that new stock in. But they didn't. But look, it's whenever you discount something, it's not going to work for everyone. It was a great offer, and I think again we're going to see more of it with MCP as well, with these packs where they start bundling things together. They're just going to be in a single box for these guys. So yeah, I get some gaming stores are pissed off about it, but yeah, it is what it is. Quinn, should we talk about the stream from last night before? When was the stream? Tuesday?
Yeah, Tuesday is when the typical stream, right?
Yeah. Just quickly, got my Guardians of the Galaxy team painted up now, but I'm curious to see if Angela will be an Asgard combo pack.
I would imagine not.
No. I would say Thor, Valkyrie, Loki, and Hela. I think you'll see older ones. All those Ebony Maw packs are going to be worthless now. Look, it is what it is.
You say now. They were close to worthless before.
Yeah. Legion bumped? Question mark. No, Legion hasn't been bumped.
I don't know where bumped has come from. Did I say bumped at some point? Because
maybe, I don't know. Yeah, it definitely hasn't been bumped. We just had an offer here in the UK where there was bundles and things. So yeah, I think we're going to see older characters that are bundled together. So Quinn, we had the live stream Tuesday, let's say, I think it was. Schick was talking, and that's where we learned.
He does that.
He does. He definitely does. That's where we learned a little bit about the fact that there is another, there's a new Black Order leader, and then we saw the card, and it was like, okay, well, that's now, we know what that is, sort of thing. But one thing that I want to talk about, Quinn, is what he was talking about with regards to tactics card rotations and seasons and that sort of thing. You guys may have seen. So if you look at your tactics cards, let me get out my shiny new. Have you seen these, Quinn? Have you seen these?
I mean, I own them.
You don't, because they're still on my desk.
No, they are still rightfully mine and under my ownership.
So if you look at the bottom right-hand corner of each of your cards, and that may not be coming through very, very well, but there are symbols on them. So I think, Quinn, we've had Spider-Man's face was the original one. We've had Thor's hammer.
Face, Thor's hammer is the errata stuff.
Yeah.
And then we've got the X-Men symbol, and then like a cityscape one, which is stuff that like Crimson, I think, started coming with.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't Crimson. It was Luke Cage and Iron Fist around that time.
Luke Cage, Iron Fist, yeah. So we've got like 4 symbols at the moment. Birds of prey, those sorts of things have the city symbols. And apparently this is something that we've known forever. But they're going to be using them. I was never aware of it, Quinn. I don't know if you were. But they're going to be using them in some form of rotation whereby certain cards, in addition to the banned and restricted, certain cards will be available. And we don't know the full details yet, and I maybe need to go back and listen to what Schick said in more detail. But to me, Quinn, the only thing that I could sort of attribute it to was playing Hearthstone, where you would have a ranked game of Hearthstone, and it could only use a certain number of cards from previous decks, and then any of the latest and greatest. And it was a way of them to try and get you to buy more deck packs. But it was the long and short of it, right? Was to try and get you to buy more cards. I'm sure other trading card games have done it as well. I've not really played trading card games.
I've not really done trading cards or CCGs. I'm more of a living card game guy when I do cards.
But obviously, all of these rules are always optional. But what you often find is that things get, when it comes to competitive events, they get implemented. You know, we could run an event tomorrow, Quinn, and say it's a competitive event, allow anyone to use drop off, and you know, AMG they can't do anything about it, right? There's just
What you mean? They're not going to send like a hit squad to the venue and raid it?
I just imagine how Schick and Pagani like dropping from the helicopter and coming through the window. But it's really interesting where that's what they're looking to do, and I don't really have any thoughts on the reasons why, Quinn.
It's a thing that's been in the rules for quite some time, technically.
They've
never done anything with it, but they have had like talk of timelines in the OP document.
Yes. Yeah.
I can understand why they would do it, in a sense that it just freshens up the game in terms of there being a different pool of cards that people have access to. So, like, you know, I think notable missing cards on that list are Medpack and Field Dressing.
Yes, yeah, but they are already restricted cards. So
yes, but what happens if they just no longer exist? I feel like that would be a very significant change to the meta, for example.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Like that's I feel is sort of the reason why this sort of thing would be adopted and done, is because even though nothing is physically changing in terms of like new things being out, like changing access to things suddenly changes entire metas, because you know there might be lists that are based entirely off of working off of a certain set of cards, and if they lose access to all of or some of those puzzle pieces, how does that affiliation then change and adapt, or you know, that sort of thing?
It is a bit strange. I just want to bring this up then because people may be wondering where it is in the rule book, because it's not actually in the rule book. It's under the organized under the organized play. So let me just show this through here and just talk you through what we're talking about. I'll tell you what we're talking about. So if you look at the organized play document and you scroll right down to page 4, there's something called event type. So the EO should label their event as either a timeline or an unlimited event. Quinn, how many events have you attended?
Do we want to go consult the great Longshanks?
How many of them were timeline and how many of them were unlimited?
Technically, none of them were either of them.
So basically, they would say you should label them as either timeline or unlimited. This will let players know which type of roster to bring and how to plan for the event. In timeline events, players may only use characters, team tactics cards, and crisis cards from the allowed packs. In unlimited events, players may use characters, team tactics cards, and crisis cards from any pack. And I think it's a really interesting thing that they've brought this up now, because, and I want to just pick up on a message something that Joe Manges wrote there, because MCP is what, 3 years old, coming up to? Thereabouts. And I just want to read what Joe Manges put here. I'm not sure we need formats in MCP. We are nowhere near saturation point. And I agree. I wholeheartedly agree that we are still in the infancy of this game. Yes, we've had one round of erratas, but I think we're probably 2-3 years from even needing to do this sort of thing. Looking at the rate of release, you know, we're looking at what? Average of, you know, maybe 25 characters a year coming out, give or take.
Oh, it's got to be way higher than that.
How many character packs have we had this year?
This year feels a little different to previous years, in all fairness.
Okay, maybe maybe 2 a month, right? So 24 packs,
Roughly that's what I would have
48 characters, right? So let's
Yeah,
say we've got
which is
48
almost
characters.
what you said, yes.
Well, I was just thinking about the last like 3 months or so, but so 48 characters, there's going to be some of those that are, single packs, but let's say 48. And let's say that on average.
Technically, there are some packs that have 4 characters. Take Ant-Man and Wasp.
And then let's say that we get, double that in tactics cards, right? So 100 tactics cards a year, which the same again in tactics cards, right? Each character gets 1 tactics card with them. I get some packs get more, some packs get less. But I just don't think it's anywhere near enough to warrant doing it. So I just think it's really interesting.
I don't think this will kick in until probably around the end of the year, or at least the end of probably the current set of cards, which I think is still the Cityscape one.
I think it is still Cityscape.
Maybe Black Swan and Supergiant have a different set symbol on them. Who knows? Oh yeah, I consulted the Great Oracle of Longshanks. Would you like to know how many events I've been to specifically on Longshanks? 38.
Nice. This is why there were so many character TT cards in the pack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I think is going to happen is Joe Manji brings up this point, restricting characters is going to feel bad. I don't think characters are going to be restricted. I think the way in which characters will be managed, in a sense, is by whether or not they're, their team tactics cards that are specific to them get restricted or not. Because obviously that changes very much how that character plays.
Yeah.
If you live in a world where Venom doesn't have Lethal Protector, does his stock suddenly plummet? I don't think it plummets, but it does go down, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I was just looking through then to see if Lethal Protector was the Spidey one, and it was.
Yeah, of course it is.
It's like the 4th pack, something like that. It was very early on, wasn't it?
Fourth, but either 4th or 6th, between those two numbers.
Yeah. But guys, let us know, guys. Like, what do you think? Like, do you think the game is too young? Because really, we've had 3 rotations of cards. Let's say that we could have 4 Quinn by the end of this year, right? I don't think that's unrealistic.
Yeah.
Is that enough? Like, is that enough that they need to do it? People move from X-Men into Brotherhood, for instance. Agreed, Joe. Any restrictions of characters will kill this game. We want to play with our... Yeah, I don't think characters should be restricted.
Like I said, I think it's very unlikely that ends up happening.
Yeah, and I think, guys, we already know timeline unlimited, okay? So, Mitch, to your point, I paid for it, I painted it, I get to play it, LOL. But, we always have that option to play with what we want. Just like, this is no different to, I'm a Space Marine player, right? And I'm not, by the way, but I'm a Space Marine player. And I'm waiting for
how you had to state that.
Just to clarify.
It was some sort of dirty thing to be.
If I was, I'd be a Salamander player, right? When I did play, I was a Salamander player. And Codex 112 comes out. I think there's been 112 codexes now for the Salamander armies. So about that.
Sure also, I just had an idea. So, when the news inevitably grinds to a halt again, we can have an episode on our favourite Space Marine legions.
Yeah, there we go. But what that doesn't stop anybody doing, even if there's a new set of rules out and you and your friends, or even you and your local gaming store want to run an event that says, look guys, we are running 5th edition of 40k. That's the rule set that we're playing with. We're going to do a league, a tournament, whatever it is. So to your point, Mitch, absolutely. I think my only concern would be is that often restricted rules become the norm, and anything that's deemed as competitive tends to use those rules. Daz saying he's not going to run any timeline events, a lot of extra work for the TO. Does it mean restricting the splashing of affiliations and tactics cards? Could be.
I very much doubt that.
I don't think that will be.
That's kind of integral to how the game works.
Yeah, I don't. I think the whole point of this game is that anything works with anything. But guys, it's we're going to leave it there for this. I think it's a really good talking point, but I think it's probably something that we need to understand exactly how they're going to do it, because it could be implemented and it could work really well. And what it could be, okay, is a way of us being able to get even more value and a different game mode, not really game mode, but a different way of playing the same game that we love without buying anything else, right? And if that's what it turns out to be, then great. If it turns out to be horrible and everybody hates it, then guess what? We'll just not use it, right? And whenever we run events, we'll just ignore it and we'll play the unlimited versions. But the nice thing is that we get both. I want to read this first. I am competitive. I am a Space Marine player, just getting into MCP as well, but it's just another way to play, right? Like in 40K, exactly, Jonathan, exactly. Yes, competitive rules trickle down and bleed into casual. That's why I like that AMG isn't just catering to tourney play, but all types. Mitch, 100%, mate. And you know what? We're seeing house rules now, right? We saw at Adepticon for the first time ever, we had duo games. So I'm running an event in September that part of that will be the duos, right? And I love those extra game modes. So, yeah, I think it'll either be really good or it won't. And if it's really good, we'll use it. And if it's not, we won't. And I think that's, it's nice to have those of the show, which is, it's called Do You Even Paint, though, but I don't even think we ever really do that. But it's our...
paint?
Paint, yeah. Oh, God, I got so much to paint. But it's our weekly painting competition. And guys, you will be glad to know that it arrived. I've had these on back order. I've had 2 of these on order now for about 2 months, which is why I kept saying, like, when they turn up, we'll announce the winner. So what I'm going to do, we're going to draw a line in the sand, okay? And the last episode of May, which is going to be maybe a day or so early because I'm going on holiday at the end of May. But we will give this away at the last episode of May.
Not only is Richie going on holiday, but he's giving me full creative control of the channel for the month he's gone.
Don't worry, people. I will pre-record some videos. Rich Quinn, love your show, guys. Great content. Mitch, much appreciated, buddy. Really, really appreciated. So, how do you win one of these? Well, you just enter our painting competition. That's all you need to do. You don't need to win the painting competition. That is just for weekly bragging rights. But I do have the Spider-Man versus Doc Ock. I've actually got mine here as well. Let me just go off screen a second.
The rest of you are lucky because I have a different angle of view on Rich's room, and I just saw his arse crack, and I'm not happy about it.
That content is usually behind a paywall. So here we go. I built this up. It's really, really nice. I mean, this alternate Doc Ock sculpt is so good. The Spider-Man sculpt, knocking my camera there, is also really, really nice. So it's a really, really nice thing, and it'll make a awesome little project for somebody as well. So,
yeah, I think technically I have an entry on that somewhere.
No, we did tell you that.
No,
that it's not allowed.
Yeah, I don't care.
So, the theme this week, Quinn, you picked the theme, didn't you?
I did. Yes.
So, what was the theme? Just to remind everyone.
The theme was alternate schemes.
Alternate schemes.
Spurred on by the absolutely lovely movie Ronin that we talked about last week.
Yes, it was. It was really, really good. So we had a couple of rules, didn't we? So basically, did you fellas talk about the new Black Order pack? Yes, we did, David. So basically, anything that is and it has to be, it can't be, it's exactly the same as the box art, but I did her with ginger hair rather than brown hair, right? It's got to be a completely different one. So alternate schemes, but we also would have then accepted any 3D sculpts as well, but it needs to be a damn good 3D sculpt to get in, I'm not going to lie. Or conversions, that sort of thing as well. So anything that looked different to the box art was on the table. And as we do with these, every week we always pick out a 2 honourable mentions and then 1 winner. Red shirt versus blue shirt Scourge, Mitch says, Quinn. That would work. So our first honourable mention is a really, really nicely painted Magneto that comes to us from Jonah. And
yeah, it's a shame who painted it.
it is a shame, but
knob.
as much as he's a no, we like Jonah on the channel. Happy 40th birthday, Jonah, because it was his birthday. I think it was
big old boomer.
Wednesday, was it, or
It
is
was
it
Wednesday, yes.
Mitch? Is it too late to submit? Yes. For this week, Mitch, yes, but you'll still get a chance to submit for the next week's one. So really, really nice. Yep, it's obviously the first class paint scheme there. Really, really clean. Really, really like this one. So well done, Jonah, and also a happy birthday to you as well. Let me just do this next. Make sure I get the next right one up. Oh, there we go. Yes. So next up then, and we had so many of these, Quinn, didn't we? I think the winner for which character got featured more this time round was most definitely Black Widow. Oh, yeah. Like so many Black Widow entries that it was really, really difficult to choose from. But the one that we did go with was an Agent Widow, but very much MCU style, wasn't it? From the Black Widow movie. And it was an entry by Affiliation. And if you want to see, so there's more pictures of most of these as well. You can head over to the Discord and see pictures from different angles. But we all know how difficult white is to paint. And they've just done such a good job of getting the shading and the highlights on here, Quinn, that, a little bit of OSL around her sort of brace. I don't know what they are, like taser brace things. I don't know.
They're like, I was going to say they're gauntlets, but they're not because they don't have hands.
Because they don't have hands.
They are braces.
The wristlets, bracelets, yeah. Wristlets? What the hell are wristlets?
Is that like a baby wrist or wristlet?
I think it could be, yeah. I think it could be. But yeah, super, super entry there from Fillion. As I say, really, really clean. And go check out the other pictures on there as well. But as always, there can only ever be one winner. And this one caught both of our attentions because just of how cool the conversion was, right? It's one of the best I've seen. It's really, really good. So this week's winner goes to, it's either SS Naked or Snaked. I'm not sure.
We'll go with Snaked, considering SS Naked is a very interesting name.
Solid Snaked? I don't know, Quinn. I don't know. But this... Snaked. But guys, so these are obviously the hand ninjas, but who doesn't want symbiote hand ninjas, Quinn?
I know, right?
It's just absolutely brilliant. It looks like they've used... Because obviously you get extra bits, don't you, in the Carnage box?
Yeah,
so it looks like they've used some of the extra bits from the Carnage box. I'm sure there's some of those.
I know the exact story behind these as well. Would you like to hear it?
Go ahead.
So, as we all know, the hand ninjas are actually a set of conjoined triplets who two of them are joined to the main one by a foot each. And this is just, the Carnage symbiote having bonded to them, but because they're a single entity in terms of, their physicality, it's gone on to all of them. There we go.
I genuinely thought you had a story as to how he'd done this. Not some bullshit
like
that you
I
just...
have like some story from the comics. I can't read comics, they hurt my eyes.
No, as in how the guy had done it.
What do you mean how he done it? He put the head and the arms on. There you go.
Deary me.
There's your story for how he did it. He glued the Carnage bits onto the hand ninjas. There you are.
And painted some things.
Yes.
But I think really, really good job. Really, really nice. So well done, Naked.
Also, I will very quickly say I very much like the use of the Carnage tendrils as extra contact points to support the hand ninjas. I think that's very clever.
Very much needed extra contact points, didn't they?
I think they're quite stable, actually.
They're not bad.
Less so the sword one.
I was going to say there's one of them.
The chain one, with like the little sidey thing. Yeah, he's pretty damn stable. Glue,
paint, and duct tape. Absolutely. Well, there we go, guys.
No,
Rounding
Mitch,
up.
it's a tape of a duck. It's just a live recording of a duck.
Trusted Quinn. That was your first mistake, Rich. Yeah, I keep making that same mistake. Yeah, guys, there we go. That's another episode of the Weekly Bugle in the bin. In the bin. I mean, that's
In the bin. That is where these typically end up.
Yeah, I don't know where they go.
I mean, a lot of it ended up in the bin when we used to pre-record these.
This is an hour of my life. Those things used to be like 5 hours of my life. But I love
4 of those hours was you just continually itching your nose because of your cocaine habit.
Yeah, absolutely. Any more gameplay coming up? Yes, absolutely, David. We will be doing. We're going to be doing our Dormammu or our Dark Dimension versus Convocation game. So that will be coming up. And let me just change. Let me change cameras a second. Give me one moment. But I have been working on a.
Oh, look! I have a little board. Ooh.
I've got a little board. There we go. Let me do this here. So, let me switch around a second. Transition over to that. So there we go. So I've been having a little project at home at the moment. Where we've got some. This is my second desk at the moment, but we've got a new camera. We've got some boards that we're making at the moment. They're all sort of piled up there, but so we're making a terrain board at the moment. So once this is done, we're going to be doing some live battle reports as well. So they're in the works at the moment, but once they're done, Mitch says, "Shit, your desk is a mess." It's a workbench. This is my actual desk.
The workbench, is it?
This is my actual desk. It's not that bad. Like, it's pretty good. Do you guys want a little tour of the office whilst we're here? Hang on then. So it's mainly all Star Wars stuff. So we've got some Star Wars stuff here. Obligatory shirt that's very nearby, just in case I need to go into an actual meeting. We've got more Star Wars stuff up here. These are all Lego models, by the way.
He's got a hat on the door. That's interesting.
Hat on the door, and then the top bit of the shelf that you can't normally see is all around here.
That's where you keep the bodies.
Yep. And then finishing it off, we've got that there, and then my little painting station that I've got there as well. So there we go. Little treat for you all. Let me just put this camera back on and then go.
Wait, is that blank space where the Star Destroyer that you destroyed is supposed to be?
It's not a Star Destroyer. It was the
Super Star Destroyer.
Yes, Super Star Destroyer. Yeah, I forget the name of it.
I mean, it's been Super Star destroyed now, thanks to you.
It has, yes. I bought a new stand for it, and I dropped it. So it's currently in a number of pieces. And then it was May the 4th, so obviously my new Luke's land speeder turned up last week. So I've now got 2 massive models that I need to build. But there we go. Hey ho, something separate. Guys, that's it for this week. Need a sign that says reserved for Galactus. That's when Quinn's ass turns up.
Dom's ass. Just this is going to be a recurring segment is where we talk about Dom's ass on this show. I don't even know if Dom watches this show, which makes it funnier.
Oh, painting competition for this week, Quinn.
Yeah,
I completely forgot. Yeah, so it's my turn, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, do we?
Are you going to be boring?
Well, it's hard to not be boring.
I mean, when you live a life like yours, yes.
This is true.
Very dull.
I'll tell you what we're going to do. In honour of the new pack being released.
Oh no.
We're going to do any member of the Black Order.
Is that including people that were in it in the comics?
They have to be an MCP model, right? They have to be
yeah.
They have to be one. There's only 5, right? You basically discount Thanos. I don't want to see your Thanoses. We see too many Thanoses. I want to see.
Thank you.
Do you know what, Quinn? I want to see your best Ebony Maw or Black Dwarf. The 2 characters that are underappreciated. So
I'm disappointed you didn't say they could be comic members, because then you could have had Hela as well.
You could have had Hela as well, but no Nebula. So Ebony Maw or Black Dwarf. Two underappreciated.
Oh, look at this. He's changing the rules already.
The reason
First it was Black Order, then it was MCP Black Order. Now it's just Ebony Maw and Black Dwarf.
Do you want it to
You're not
be...
even doing that to me. You're doing that to
I've just realised
I'm over here.
You're over there.
I'm over here.
So yeah, Ebony Maw or Black Dwarf. They're your options. Two underrated. I mean, they're not underrated. They're both shit.
It's funny because it's true.
Underused. So Ebony Maw or Black Dwarf. Damn, they are still in the box. Well, Daz, the resale value of that box is just depreciated, so you may as well paint them up. We want more painting competitions. Once again, you misheard. But there we go, guys. Always fun.
The thing is, Mitch, you say you want more painting competitions. People didn't like it when I wanted 20 characters for a painting competition.
He's a dick.
So clearly, evidently, the people have spoken and they don't want more painting competitions.
Guys, it's been fun. It always is fun. I love doing this now. Doing this one live is so much nicer than how we used to do it. So hopefully you've all enjoyed it.
You're allowed to scratch your nose whenever you like.
I know.
It's great.
Scratch it. Have a drink. If you like the video, like it. It really does. Everyone in the chat now, if you could just hit the like button. I never do that. Everybody else always does this, don't they? Like hit the
bell, like and subscribe, enable notifications.
Like but it does help. Like hitting the like button does help. It really, really does help.
I mean, out of protest, I'm going to not press the like button.
As long as it's not a dirty protest, then I'm fine with that.
You mention it.
Now that you mention it. But guys, thank you so much. Really, really does. Really appreciate all the support. Keep a note out or an eye out for the new battle reports that are going to be coming up.
Keep a note out.
Soon.
I don't think I've ever heard that as an expression before.
Keep an eye out for the upcoming...
Is this a thing that Edris Ilba says? Is that his catchphrase? Keep a note out. Edris Ilba.
Actually, we do have one more. We do have one more notification as well. I'm currently looking for a new co-host.
One that won't pick up on the terrible things you say.
One that's not a petulant little cunt. Is that the first C-bomb we've dropped this episode? I think it may
can't be. It can't be. I've definitely said this. Yeah. I've dropped that so many times.
Yeah. This is the little swearing episode that we're allowed each week. So, guys, it's been a good laugh.
You can't stop us, right?
These videos, they're never allowed to be monetized, by the way, the Weekly Bugle. It's always funny. Edward Silver would never say that.
Anything with me in monetized.
It's true. It is true. It has dropped. Guys, yep, hit the like button. If you want to support us even further, you can head over to our Patreon. And also by being a Patreon, also give you access to our monthly event that we do as well, which I think, Quinn, we will do one of them as a draft, I think. Not next one, but the next one coming up. That will be fun. But guys, head over to the Discord if you haven't already. It's where you can submit all your paid entries and everything else like that. And it's been fun. And until next time, guys, take well. Jesus.
What is wrong with you?
Bye.
So, as Edward Silver always says, keep a note out and take well.